Before we go further, this content is for educational purposes only. It is designed to help you understand how your body works. If you have medical conditions, take prescription medications, or have concerns about fasting, consult your healthcare provider before making changes. Now let us begin at the most basic level. What actually happens inside your body when you stop eating? The moment you finish a meal, your body switches into processing mode. Carbohydrates break down into glucose. That glucose enters your bloodstream and raises your blood sugar. In response, your pancreas releases insulin. Insulin is like a storage manager. It signals your cells to open their doors and absorb the incoming glucose. Some of that energy is used immediately. The rest is stored. And here's the key point. While insulin is elevated, your body is in storage mode, not burning mode. When insulin is high, fat cannot be released from your fat cells. Your body prioritizes dealing with the energy you just consumed. That processing phase can last 4 to 6 hours, sometimes longer depending on what you ate. A high carbohydrate meal keeps insulin elevated longer. A meal higher in protein and healthy fats tends to allow insulin to drop sooner. But as long as insulin remains elevated, your body is focused on storing, not burning. During the first 12 hours after eating, your body is still primarily running on recently consumed fuel. It also relies on glycogen, a stored form of glucose kept in your liver. Think of glycogen as your short-term backup battery. The average liver stores roughly 100 to 120 grams of glycogen. As long as this reserve is available, your body has no reason to tap into stored fat. This is where modern eating patterns become a problem. If you snack every few hours, sip sweetened drinks, grab a flavored coffee in the morning, and something sugary in the afternoon, your insulin rarely drops. Your body never moves beyond processing mode. You remain in a constant cycle of intake and storage. Fat stays locked away because your body is continuously busy handling incoming fuel. This explains why many people fast but do not see results. If your eating window extends late into the night and begins early in the morning, your body may never truly reach a deep fat-burning state. You are technically fasting, but metabolically you are still stuck in the early phases. Now something important happens when you pass the 12-hour mark without food. Your glycogen reserves begin running low. Your body senses that its short-term energy supply is dwindling. At this point, it must make a decision. Find new fuel or break into storage. This is when the metabolic switch begins. Between 12 and 16 hours of fasting, insulin levels drop low enough to signal fat cells to release stored fatty acids. Those fatty acids enter your bloodstream and travel to the liver. Your liver converts part of them into molecules called ketones. Ketones become an alternative energy source for your brain and muscles. This shift from glucose dependence to fat utilization is the foundation of effective fasting. For many people, this transition happens around the 16-hour mark. That is why the 16 to 8 method became popular. 16 hours fasting. 8 hours eating. It gives the body just enough time to deplete glycogen and begin meaningful fat burning. It is not magic. It is physiology. At the same time, another powerful change occurs. Growth hormone levels begin to rise. Growth hormone is often associated with muscle building, but during fasting its primary role is protective. It accelerates fat breakdown while preserving lean tissue. In other words, your body is designed to burn fat while shielding muscle during short-term fasting. This is an evolutionary advantage. Our ancestors did not have constant access to food. During periods without meals, their bodies needed to burn stored energy while staying strong enough to hunt or gather. A system that destroyed muscle during every short fast would not have supported survival. So your biology evolved to defend lean tissue while mobilizing fat. As you approach 16 hours, fat oxidation increases significantly. Blood sugar stabilizes. Insulin remains low. The body becomes more metabolically flexible. Many people report that hunger waves begin to fade around this time. That is because hunger hormones often rise and fall in predictable patterns. When you move through the initial spike, the intensity can decrease. But here's where most conversations about fasting stop. They focus only on duration. They say, just hit 16 hours and you are done, yet there is another layer most people ignore. Timing, because your body does not operate the same way at 8 a.m. as it does at 8 p.m. Your metabolism follows a circadian rhythm, a roughly 24-hour internal clock influenced by light, darkness, and routine. This clock regulates hormones, digestion, insulin sensitivity, and even cellular repair. And here's something critical. Your ability to process glucose is stronger in the morning than in the evening. Studies show that insulin sensitivity gradually decreases as the day progresses. By nighttime, your body is less efficient at handling carbohydrates. That means the exact same meal eaten at night can produce a higher blood sugar response compared to eating it in the morning. This difference may seem small, but over months and years, it adds up. Now think about common habits in the United States: light breakfast, quick lunch, large late dinner, snacks in front of the TV, dessert before bed. This pattern pushes the largest glucose load into the time of day, when the body is least prepared to handle it. So here's the deeper question. If you fast for 16 hours, but eat from noon until 8 or 9 p.m., are you truly working with your biology? Or are you forcing your body to process heavy meals when insulin sensitivity is already declining? Emerging research suggests that aligning your eating window earlier in the day may amplify the benefits of fasting. Eating when your body is metabolically primed, then allowing a long overnight fast when digestion naturally slows, appears to improve insulin response, blood pressure, and metabolic markers even without weight loss. This changes the conversation entirely. It is not just about skipping breakfast. It may be about finishing dinner earlier. It may be about shifting your eating window forward instead of backward. And this is only the beginning. Because once you move beyond 16 hours, something even more profound begins to happen inside your cells. A process that goes far beyond fat loss. A process connected to aging, inflammation, and cellular repair. By the time you pass 16 hours without food, your body is no longer negotiating. It has switched fuel sources. Insulin is low, fat is being released, ketones are rising. Hunger waves are less intense. But beneath the surface, something far more significant is beginning. Something that has nothing to do with the number on the scale. Between 16 and 24 hours of fasting, your cells begin activating a process called autophagy. The word sounds intimidating, but its meaning is simple. Self-cleaning, self-recycling, self-renewal. This is not starvation damage. This is built-in maintenance. Every single day, your cells accumulate damage. Proteins misfold. Mitochondria wear down. Cellular debris builds up. Imagine never taking out the trash in your house. Eventually, clutter would overwhelm the space. The same thing happens inside your body when repair systems are constantly suppressed by continuous eating. When you eat frequently, especially protein-rich meals, a growth pathway called mTOR stays active. mTOR signals growth and building. That is useful when food is abundant. But constant growth mode prevents deep repair mode. Fasting temporarily lowers mTOR activity, allowing your body to switch from building to cleaning. During autophagy, damaged proteins and dysfunctional cell parts are identified and wrapped inside membrane structures. These packages are then delivered to specialized compartments where they are broken down into raw materials. Amino acids are reused. Components are rebuilt. Efficiency improves. Think of it as a cellular renovation project. This process is always happening at a low level, but fasting amplifies it. Research suggests that autophagy becomes measurably stronger somewhere between 20 and 24 hours without food. The exact timing varies from person to person, but the pattern is consistent. The longer you remain in a low insulin state, the more repair mechanisms increase. Why does this matter? Because aging is not just about time. It is about accumulation. Accumulation of damaged proteins, accumulation of oxidative stress, accumulation of cellular dysfunction. Autophagy helps clear that buildup. It is one reason fasting is being studied in relation to longevity and metabolic resilience. But here's something important. You do not need to fast for days to benefit. Even consistent 16-hour fasts, especially when aligned with your circadian rhythm, may stimulate meaningful repair over time. Consistency beats extremity. Now let us move into the 24 to 48-hour range. After 24 hours, your body is fully adapted to the fasted state. Ketone levels are elevated. Fat burning is steady. And growth hormone production increases dramatically. Clinical research has documented that after 48 hours of fasting, growth hormone levels can rise several-fold compared to baseline. This surge is protective. Growth hormone supports fat breakdown while preserving muscle tissue. It also plays a role in cellular repair and metabolic adaptation. Your body is not panicking, it is adapting. It is conserving what matters most and mobilizing stored energy for survival. From an evolutionary standpoint, this makes perfect sense. When food was scarce, humans needed mental sharpness and physical endurance, not weakness. This is why many people report a surprising shift after the first difficult phase of fasting. Once they move past the early hunger signals, clarity increases, focus sharpens. Energy feels stable instead of fluctuating. That is not imagination. Ketones provide a steady fuel source for the brain without the rapid spikes and crashes associated with glucose swings. When you rely heavily on carbohydrates, blood sugar rises after eating and falls afterward. That rise and fall cycle can create energy instability. In contrast, fat-derived ketones burn more evenly. The result for some individuals is smoother concentration and fewer afternoon crashes. However, extended fasting is not necessary for everyone. It is a tool, not a requirement. And it is not appropriate in every situation. If someone experiences persistent dizziness, confusion, heart palpitations, or severe weakness, that is not a badge of honor. It is a signal to stop. Health is never about pushing through danger. Now we come to the most overlooked variable of all, not duration, not willpower, timing. Your circadian rhythm governs nearly every system in your body. Hormones rise and fall in predictable cycles. Cortisol peaks in the morning. Melatonin rises at night. Digestive enzymes are produced in anticipation of regular meals. Insulin sensitivity follows a daily rhythm as well. Research consistently shows that your body handles glucose more efficiently earlier in the day. As evening approaches, insulin sensitivity declines. That means a late dinner produces a stronger blood sugar response than the same meal eaten earlier. This has powerful implications. Imagine two people eating identical calories. Same protein, same carbohydrates, same fats. One eats from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., the other eats from noon to 8 p.m., both fast 16 hours. On paper, they are following the same plan. But metabolically, they are not experiencing the same effects. In controlled human studies involving individuals with metabolic risk factors, early time-restricted eating finishing meals in the early afternoon improved insulin sensitivity, reduced blood pressure, and lowered oxidative stress even without weight loss. The calories were identical. The only difference was timing. This suggests something profound. Your body expects food during daylight. It expects rest and repair at night. When we push heavy meals into late evening hours, we disrupt that rhythm. Digestion competes with repair processes. Blood sugar remains elevated when the body is preparing for sleep. Late eating may also interfere with sleep quality. Elevated insulin and digestion can affect melatonin production. Poor sleep then worsens insulin sensitivity the next day. A cycle begins. Now think about common American routines. Work late, commute home. Large dinner at 8 p.m., snacks at 10 p.m., breakfast skip. Coffee with sweeteners mid-morning, lunch at noon. Technically fasting 16 hours, but biologically misaligned. Shifting your eating window earlier, even by 1 or 2 hours, can create meaningful change. Finishing dinner at 6 p.m. instead of 9 p.m. extends your overnight fasting window during the period when your body is naturally primed for repair. That alignment amplifies the metabolic switch. Consistency matters just as much as duration. Your circadian system thrives on predictability. Eating at roughly the same times each day helps your body prepare in advance. Digestive enzymes are released on schedule. Hormones anticipate fuel. Irregular weekend patterns, staying up late, eating at midnight can create metabolic jet lag. None of this requires perfection. Life includes social dinners, family gatherings, celebrations. The goal is not rigid restriction. The goal is alignment most of the time. Biology rewards patterns, not occasional extremes. There is also a psychological benefit to earlier eating windows. Many people find that late-night snacking is driven less by hunger and more by habit or stress. When the eating window closes earlier, boundaries become clearer. Structure reduces decision fatigue. But let us be clear about safety. Fasting is not appropriate for pregnant or breastfeeding women. It is not recommended for children or teenagers. Individuals with a history of eating disorders should avoid fasting protocols. Those with insulin-dependent diabetes or chronic medical conditions must consult healthcare professionals before adjusting meal timing. For healthy adults, gradual progression works best. Begin with a 12-hour eating window. Maintain consistency. Then reduce to 10 hours. Eventually experiment with 8 hours if it feels sustainable. There is no urgency. Adaptation takes time. The key lesson is this: fasting is not about suffering. It is about giving your body space. Space to lower insulin, space to burn stored energy, space to clean damaged cellular components, space to reset hormonal rhythms. And when you combine appropriate duration with intelligent timing, the effects compound. Fat burning becomes more efficient. Insulin control improves. Cellular repair increases. Sleep may improve. Energy stabilizes. Now you understand the internal timeline. The first 12 hours are mostly about finishing digestion and using stored glycogen. Between 12 and 16 hours, fat burning accelerates and growth hormone begins to rise. Between 16 and 24 hours, autophagy strengthens and cellular repair becomes more active. Beyond 24 hours, ketones climb higher and protective hormonal shifts intensify. But knowledge alone does not change results. Strategy does. Because here is the truth. The best fasting plan is not the longest one. It is the one that aligns with your biology and fits your real life. Sustainable consistency will always outperform occasional extremes. Let us start with the most practical question. If you are targeting a 16-hour fast, when should those hours occur? Based on circadian research, earlier eating windows tend to support better insulin control. That means finishing your last meal earlier in the evening instead of pushing it late into the night. For many Americans, this may simply mean shifting dinner from 8:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. That 2-hour adjustment can extend your overnight repair window without requiring heroic effort. An example schedule might look like this. First meal at 9 o'clock a.m., final meal at 5 o'clock p.m., or first meal at 10 a.m., final meal at 6 o'clock p.m. That still gives you social flexibility while allowing your body to spend the evening in a low insulin state. If early dinners feel impossible because of work or family routines, aim for gradual change. Even finishing eating 90 minutes earlier than usual can create measurable metabolic improvement. Progress beats perfection. Now let us talk about what often sabotages fasting without people realizing it: liquid calories. Sweetened coffee drinks, creamers, juices, energy beverages, even healthy smoothies can raise insulin and interrupt the fat-burning phase. During your fasting window, hydration should come primarily from water, plain coffee, or unsweetened tea. The goal is to keep insulin low so the metabolic switch can remain active. Another common mistake is overeating during the eating window. Fasting is not a license to binge. If the eating period becomes a feeding frenzy, insulin spikes dramatically and fat storage can increase. Balanced meals with adequate protein, fiber, and healthy fats support stability. Protein is especially important. While growth hormone helps protect muscle during fasting, consistent protein intake during eating windows supports lean tissue preservation long-term. Strength training combined with fasting can further protect muscle mass. Let us also address hunger. Hunger does not rise in a straight line. It comes in waves driven by hormonal rhythms. When a wave hits, many people assume it will intensify indefinitely. In reality, it often peaks and fades within 20 minutes. Drinking water, staying occupied, or taking a short walk can help you move through it. Sleep plays a massive role in fasting success. Poor sleep increases hunger hormones the next day and reduces insulin sensitivity. If you stay up late, you are more likely to snack. You are also eating at a time when your body is least prepared to process food. Protecting sleep amplifies fasting benefits. Physical activity enhances metabolic flexibility as well. Light movement during a fast like walking can accelerate glycogen depletion and encourage earlier fat utilization. Resistance training during eating windows supports muscle maintenance. Now let us bring duration and timing together clearly. If duration is the engine of fat burning and autophagy, timing is the steering wheel. Duration determines how long you stay in low insulin mode. Timing determines whether that low insulin period aligns with your circadian rhythm. A 16-hour fast that runs from 6 p.m. to 10 a.m. may deliver stronger metabolic benefits than a 16-hour fast from noon to 4 a.m., even though the duration is identical. Alignment matters. But does that mean everyone must eat breakfast? Not necessarily. Some individuals feel excellent skipping breakfast and eating earlier dinners. Others prefer a mid-morning first meal. The principle is simple. Finish eating earlier when possible. Allow darkness to coincide with fasting. Keep your routine consistent. If your current window is 12 hours, that is a strong starting point. Maintain it consistently for several weeks. Then experiment with 10 hours. Then 8 if comfortable. There is no requirement to push beyond 16 hours unless you have a specific goal and medical clearance. For those considering occasional 24-hour fasts, frequency matters. Once per week or once every 2 weeks is very different from multiple times weekly. Recovery nutrition becomes critical. Electrolytes and hydration are important during longer fasts. Always listen to warning signals. Persistent dizziness, confusion, irregular heartbeat, or severe weakness are reasons to stop. Fasting is a tool for resilience, not a test of endurance. Let us summarize the complete timeline so it becomes clear in your mind. 0 to 12 hours. Digestion and glycogen use dominate. Insulin gradually declines. 12 to 16 hours. Glycogen depletes. Fat release increases. Ketones begin rising. Growth hormone climbs. 16 to 24 hours. Fat becomes primary fuel. Autophagy strengthens. Mental clarity often improves. 24 to 48 hours. Ketones elevate further. Growth hormone surges. Cellular cleanup intensifies. Layer circadian alignment on top of this timeline, and you multiply the impact. Eat earlier when insulin sensitivity is strongest. Finish meals earlier to protect nighttime repair. Maintain consistency. Support the process with quality sleep and strength training. Fasting is not punishment. It is permission. Permission for your body to access stored energy. Permission for your cells to repair. Permission for hormonal systems to reset. Some experts emphasize duration above all else. Others argue that circadian timing is equally powerful. The reality is not either or. It is both. Duration opens the door. Timing decides how wide it swings. You are not broken if fasting has not worked for you. You may simply have been fasting at the wrong time. Small adjustments can unlock results that previously felt impossible. Your body has always known how to burn fat. It has always known how to repair cells. It has always known how to adapt. The question is whether your schedule allows it to do so. When you align fasting duration with your biological clock, you move from fighting your metabolism to partnering with it, and that shift changes everything. This video is for educational purposes only and is not medical advice. Fasting is not appropriate for everyone. If you are pregnant, breastfeeding, under 18, have a history of eating disorders, diabetes, chronic illness, or take medications that require food, consult a qualified healthcare professional before making changes to your eating schedule. Always listen to your body and prioritize safety over intensity. Thank you for watching all the way to the end. If this breakdown helped you understand fasting on a deeper level, share this video with someone who has been struggling to see results. Subscribe so you do not miss upcoming deep dives into metabolism, hormones, and longevity science. The next video will explore how specific foods impact insulin and fat burning even inside your eating window. I will see you there.